Hi guys, what is going on and welcome back to another video. It's not very new anymore. Let me just check. We are on episode number... We're on episode number 5, which means we're around about halfway through my Summer Shreds series. Now, if you are not subscribed to my channel, if you are not following along with this series, first of all, I would love you to follow along with this series, but I am on a mini cut at the moment because I'm going to Dubai in 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks when you watch the video. It'll be nearly a week away from Dubai. And during this series, I've had so many questions from you guys asking about different things to do with my diet, my fitness regime. So I thought, and yesterday I put a post out on my Instagram page and I asked you what you would want answering. What are the burning questions you want answering? And maybe I can answer them. Now, I am very short on time today, so that's kind of a good thing because normally my Q&As, I tend to just go rambling, off topic. I'm going to try and keep it as short and sweet. I'm going to try and get through as many questions as possible. So, let's get on with the video. Okay, first things first, I am going to read them. I've actually not read them, so I'm going to kind of pick ones that maybe a lot of you said the same kind of thing, and I will also put names and Instagram tags up on the screen. First question, what is your gym split / routine? So I actually don't have a set routine, gym routine. I mean, if you've followed me on here, if you're a subscriber and follow my videos, you'll know that I like to try out different things. When I used to compete, I used to have a very set routine. It used to be like leg day, upper day, shoulder day, and it was so regimented. Now I really like to mix things up. I like to keep things fun. Today, this morning, it's like 10 o'clock now, but earlier on this morning, I went back to F.45 and I haven't been there for like 3 weeks. And the reason why I went back, even though it's a really long way away, is because it's really important for me to be excited about my workouts. And I found, because I've been so busy and my gym's literally just down the road and it was easy, I found I wasn't pushing myself to the limit and I was just like going through the motions. So when that happens, I found that it's really, really good to just like mix it up. So yes, I do weight training. I focus on my glutes and hammies and like my shoulders, like rear delts, back kind of thing. Like those are the key areas that I focus on in my weight training. But I also do like to go to the F.45 cardio based classes on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't do all those days at the moment, but I'm trying to get back into it because I just find, for me, it's not even about like the calorie burn. I find that it just keeps my just general fitness levels up, and also high intensity exercise just gets your endorphins flowing. So that is the reason why I mix up my training. Next question, cutie, that's nice, thank you. I try and be sometimes. What's your favourite breakfast on the go? So I suppose my favourite breakfast on the go would be overnight oats. So what I would do is I would get some roll oats, I would soak them in, I would use oat milk, but I know Hannah, my housemate, uses apple juice, which first of all I found quite odd, but then I tasted them and I was like, that is so interesting and nice, and puts a little bit of cinnamon on, and it just gives it that appley flavour if you're not putting any protein powder in. However, I do put protein powder in as well. I really like the Go Cereal Milk Whey. You will have seen me use that before on my videos, and I put it in only a little bit of oat milk because you want it to go quite like a cakey consistency. You can chuck in some berries, like mashed bananas, really good for overnight oats. And that's really good, and it's, you know, like sometimes oats can be a bit watery. Overnight oats, it just literally sets and the oats absorb as well all the water or all the apple juice or all the oat milk, and so they go proper cakey like. So that is delicious if you're looking for a sweet breakfast. Also, I kind of just boil a load of eggs as well if I want something really lazy but I know it's just gonna like hit my protein and fats. So I would say overnight oats would be my #1 breakfast on the go. Okay, next question. When first starting to work out, is it better to start with a low weight and slowly add more on later, or just lift as much as you can from the start? Okay, so this is definitely one that I'm sure everyone will agree on, that you need to start slowly. So when you're lifting weights, the biggest thing is about form. So if you just go from what someone else is lifting in the gym, your form will be out, you won't know technique, and for me that is the key. When I started lifting weights, I honestly do admit that I tried to go heavy first of all, and it caused me a whole load of imbalances, things now that I'm just still trying to sort out. I really did quite a lot of damage to my IT band on my left side, so down my quad, right on my side, and it has subsided, the issues, but I had so much physio because I had like a numb pins and needly sensation, and that was through squatting, and it was through heavy squats and doing like it very poorly and having poor form. So I would say whilst you're first getting into it, think about like a lower weight. So not just like, you know, the 2 kilogram dumbbell doing. I'm talking about a weight that's right for you, that you know that you can focus on your form, and also get someone to help you, or there are so many technique videos online. I often use, well, YouTube is really good, bodybuilding.com has really good technique videos as well for each exercise. So if you're thinking, I really want to be able to do, you know, a bent over row, you can go online and type in bent over row and it tells you exactly the form that you should be doing. I also think it's really good to video yourself as well. I know that might seem a bit weird in the gym, but you can really have a gauge of your form then if you video yourself. Okay, I think this was because I posted a photo and asking the questions with a Nocco can, but someone asked, what is your favourite Nocco flavour sauce? I would say the apple one, the non-caffeinated one, only because I'm trying to limit my caffeine at the moment. For no particular reason other than I am listening to an audiobook by Matthew Walker. He is a sleep scientist, like a neuroscientist, and he is such a clever man. I find that quite attractive, like the geek aspect, but he's a really, really clever man. And he goes into so much depth about like new research on sleep and how caffeine, obviously you know that, you know, drinking a cup of coffee before you go to bed is not going to be ideal. I know for me, other people have higher caffeine tolerances, but I tend to honestly now, guys, have just like 1 cup of coffee a day, and because I love the taste of coffee, I have decaf a lot of the time. So the cup of coffee I have is often before I train. So I do tend to try and have the non-caffeinated Noccos, the citrus elderflower and the apple one. So those are my 2 favourite Noccos. So when you find yourself plateauing with either body goals or weights, how do you get over this? I'm finding it really hard to get some of my weights up recently, and I'm not sure how to get over it. Okay, so let's talk about weights first of all. So I imagine you're talking about weight training in the gym. So I always find as well when I'm plateauing, and like I said in the first couple of questions, that I really like to mix up my training because sometimes I find it quite boring. And I find with more like cardio based activities or like body weight, it's really easy to measure like progress. But I almost find when you're hitting a plateau with weights and you find like you're going through the motions, is a lot of people have a deload week. So you're not pushing yourself to the max, you're literally like taking the weights down, so you're not working at such a high level. And the theory is obviously when you go back up that your body's had a rest without it like just doing nothing, like no activity at all, so you are stronger and you're kind of more motivated. Because a lot of the things, and I was talking to a lady in the gym and she's doing a powerlifting competition, and I was like, that is amazing that you can squat that, I could only dream of that. And she said a lot of it's in the mind, and that's what our, you know, our bodies, our relationship with food, and actually how much we can push ourselves in the gym, it is all in our mind. So that's when I go to classes as well, I realise that I can push myself a lot harder than I maybe would do myself if I've got stuff on my mind. And your body goals as well, it's kind of the same vibe. A lot of people, when they find themselves plateauing and don't want to like lower calories because it's already too low, a lot of people have a diet break. So just eating really either at maintenance or a tiny bit in a surplus, and then your body kind of ramps up the volume. It's like, oh, I like this, I like being able to use this food, and then you can shock it again. I'm like this. To be honest, if you're doing like a 12-16 week diet, that like one little few days a week diet break is not going to make the world of difference. Okay, what kind of sports bras do you wear and how do you deal with running and cardio with big boobs? Okay, so this is actually an interesting one because I do find, obviously, I have the boobs, that sports bras are an issue sometimes. However, I do wear Gymshark all the time, so I can't really talk about anything else, but I can show you the ones I really like of Gymshark. Two that are my favourites at the moment, this mesh zip-up bra from Gymshark. It comes in a range of different colours. It's got a zip down here, and also it's got... where are we? Adjustable straps at the back, and I always find that the ones with adjustable straps, and this is like a little bit of a top tip, are always going to be the most supportive because they're made of more of like a bra fitting. That is called the mesh zip up top, and this one is also, I wore this yesterday to the gym. It smells kind of funky, sorry about that guys. Luckily we can't have smell-o-vision. And this has also got big, thick, adjustable straps. This also comes in a number of different colours, and it's got like a bit of a, it's more of a stretchier, thicker material to just give you a little bit of oomph. Not sure off the top of my head what that is called, but I'll show you it. It's got a nice little low back as well. Kind of cute. Extremely supportive, but to be honest, Gymshark are making the bras so much more supportive, so there are other ones as well. Best tips on what to do after having water retention and feeling puffy. Now, I'm the water retention queen here because I suffer with that so much. I suffer with that in the heat. When I'm walking, I've got really poor circulation in my legs. And also, I find that actually having water, so chugging loads of water, actually combats water retention. And I always think, I'm thinking about my ankles now. When I get in and I feel like my ankles are really swollen, I just like lift them up in the air as well. And that really helps. That was like a tip in when I used to do bikini competitions. All the competitors used to be lying on the floor with their legs up because that really helps with any like puffiness and swelling around your legs. But to do with maybe like bloating, I would say really watch the artificial sweeteners. I can't really talk because you know I like my Diet Cokes and Flapjacks. I always find that low fat products that say they're low fat have a lot of stuff pumped inside of them. So it's just about, you know, if you're feeling particularly bloated or puffy, it's always going to be the simple answer, which no one wants to really hear. It's just a lot of water and, you know, a lot of good, clean food. Okay, I think we're going to make these the last few questions because, as usual, I am going on and short on time. When gaining weight out of your comp prep, how did you deal with the scales going up? Now, I think I've talked about this quite a few times, but I will touch on it again. So I think probably I didn't cope with it very well initially, but now like I'm 10, 11, 12 kilograms above my stage weight. It's quite a lot. I forget how little I was. I think it is about really getting a coach after your competition, getting someone who is there in the background who can guide you through food, because almost we've got such an abundance of food available to us in general life. There are so many opportunities to fall off track all the time. It's really difficult not to be like, I need to eat all the food now, because in comp prep, you are restricted. That is the nature of competition prep. So when you come out of it, you're like, I want to eat all the food now. So having someone there in the background who will almost up your calories to maintenance, and it's about when you're gaining weight, is to think about the bigger picture. So obviously competing is all about the way that you look, but in life it's not all about the way that you look. And obviously we still want to feel nice and we still want to look good the majority of the time, because that's just a natural part of life. But if you think about the bigger picture and some of the other goals away from your physique that you're going to focus on, maybe your career, maybe it could be a business, maybe it could be going out with friends or taking time for family, and knowing that actually you looking like that is only a temporary thing and this is the real life, and kind of life goes on after competition. So I would say in summary is just thinking of it as the bigger picture and thinking about your health and wellness before being stage lean. Okay, what are your top 3 glute exercises for muscle growth? Okay, so this is a really good one. So there are 3 main ones that I really love and do all the time for glutes. So hip thrust, barbell hip thrust, Smith machine hip thrust with just a kettlebell on you, single leg hip thrust. Get your hip thrust on. That is my #1 for glute progress, making it peachy. Oh my gosh, glute hip thrust, amazing, amazing, amazing. And then I love sumo deadlifts. So barbell sumo deadlifts, amazing. And also just straight leg deadlifts as well, that I really, really love. If you're thinking about glute growth as well, and what I really like to do is to make sure I'm activating my glutes and I can feel them, make sure all the way through each movement you are literally thinking about your bum and thinking about the movement when you're going up and down and squeezing at the top. That is the main thing. I really like activation as well, so I use just a glute band as well. So for a starter and a finisher, I do like maybe like an abductor kind of exercise. I do a few like pull squats. I do maybe a few like banded hip thrusts. So guys, I think I've rambled on for so long, and also I need to go in 5 minutes time. So I'm going to leave it there for today. But I really hope you found this video useful. I love recording Q&As, so I probably will do one in the near enough future as well. But you will be seeing this video on Wednesday because my shoe haul went up on Sunday. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd really love it if you did. We've got a whole new community going on, which I am digging at the moment. I love making these videos. And so until next time guys, on Sunday's video, I will see you next time.